Hello, Sunday Sunday friends. How is everybody doing? Thanks for tuning in to the Sunday Sunday Podcast. Hope everybody's doing great. So, we're reminiscing today and having a little bit of a celebration because today's our 20th episode. And we're recording our 20th episode of the Sunday Sunday Podcast. So, yeah, hooray for us. So, in talking about our episode today, we thought we'd kind of go back to the beginning, and we were thinking about why did we start this podcast? Why did we choose to start the Sunday Sunday Podcast? So that's what we're going to talk about today and share that with you, and love to hear what your thoughts are. If you're listening, we'd love to have your comments. So drop us a little something below and let us know what you think, and if there's anything that you want us to delve into deeper. So we initially got this started because if you watched our introduction, our origins episode, we shared with you that we have been sending each other little check-in videos on a weekly basis on Sundays. And that's kind of where the whole Sunday Sunday came from, because we would call these little videos our Sunday, DAY, Sunday, DAE, our little Sunday Sundays. And we would just send each other little videos about how our week has been and what we've been doing, just like a short 1-2 minute update of how our week was, just in an effort to stay connected, to keep our friendship intact, and again, just be there to support each other. So that's where the idea of the podcast came from. And at the root of it was to have a place where we could check in with one another, but also to be kind of a soundboard for other women who are in a similar stage in their life. We're all midlife women in our mid to late 40s. Some of us, me, are in our 50s. So we're all kind of going through this midlife stage together, with kids either already out of the home or making their way out of the home, kids that are older, finishing high school or perhaps in their mid-high school years. We're getting into those years where we're either in perimenopause, or some of us, me, have gone through menopause already. And our parents, things are changing with our parents. Our parents are getting older. Some of us have lost parents. So there's just a lot happening in this middle stage of life. So we wanted to, again, come out here to talk about those things, but also be a place where other women and men too could tune in and maybe relate to what is happening, because it's happening for you as well. We don't take it for granted that our friendship is unique, that we have had a circle of friends for many, many years. And we know that not everybody has that place where they can tune into, has a friend that they can call when things are tough, when they're having a bad day or rough day. So we wanted to also have like a community where other women, other individuals going through this mid stage of life could come and listen and feel heard and feel supported and know that they're not alone, because there's a whole bunch of us out here going through midlife and all that it has to offer, the good and the challenges too. So
here we are.
What does anybody want to share?
Well, first and foremost, if I raise my hand too high, ladies, let me know if a boob pops out, because I don't have anything underneath the sweater, and it's just a smock. It's like a little poncho. I don't have anything on underneath because I don't care. I'm at home. So, Paula, you are
raise
the
your
editor.
hand if you're sure.
Don't raise your hand. So I won't be raising it very high. So if a boob pops out, make sure you censor that, because they hang low at this midlife age, right? So they might be down there. Anyway, Minu's like shaking her head like she's so embarrassing. No. Let's see. Lots been going on. I got grown kids. My son is going to be 28 this month. I have a 28-year-old. I think that's crazy. 28, daughter is 26, 3 grandchildren. Kids are getting older. And I was actually talking to somebody I went to high school with, and we're just having a conversation that, things are rapidly progressing and we're getting older. I don't feel older, like much, much older. I don't feel like I'm almost close to 50. But when I think about, oh my gosh, my kids are pushing 30, I really do think it makes me think, life is fleeting and you have to cherish the moments. I had a great conversation with my dad today, and I hope that my siblings are embracing the conversations, because um, we only have one parent left. I mean, I have my bonus mom too. Don't get me wrong. I do have my bonus mom. Time is precious. People are precious.
So, with all that said, Shannon, when we started this podcast, was there something particular on your mind, on your heart that you wanted to share with a greater community?
No, I don't think so at first. I think this was important to you, and I wanted to support you. And when I go in and I commit to something, I go all in and I commit. And I wanted to support this. And one of the things I think you had mentioned that I'm not going to elaborate on, because you didn't choose to at the time, was I think we had talked about some 5 words, and one was stage. And I know what you mean by that. And I want to help you get there, because that's what we do. We're supposed to uplift each other. We're supposed to help each other reach our goals. And so I show up because that's what we do for each other. And so I'm here, and I want to just be there for you, to show up for your baby. Like in the intro, where what did the sign say behind you on the street sign?
Oh, that was in Mexico. Here's the dream.
Yes. And it's a dream. And so I want to do my part.
Oh, thank you. Minu, what are you thinking over there in the corner?
I am always listening and I'm here to have fun. Well, the idea of the podcast was definitely to have fun. At the end of the day, I feel a podcast is an excuse to laugh, to talk, to debate, and be yourself. So, this is a great way to, let your voice out there. For me, it is empowering. For me, it is learning. For me, it is I let my voice free. And also, it's a great way to, stay connected. And I have access to all my cheap therapists out there who will guide me, punch me, teach me. And, it gives me a different perspective also, whether it's culture, whether it's relationships, parenting, love life, career, whatever. Friends bring unique viewpoint, unique perspective that feel real and that feels relatable, even if you are not raised in the same environment. So for me, this is like a weekly bonding ritual. It's a quality time with a purpose. And I'm sure there are many women out there who don't have real friends. So this is a platform for them to have their own tribe and talk. That's my
I
take
think
on
that's so, thank you, Minu. I'm glad that you said that about the connection, because I feel like in the day and age in which we live, there's so much happening virtually that I think we've forgotten how to have conversations, how to talk to people, how to turn to a stranger at the coffee shop and say, hey, that's a really beautiful purse. Or even just turn to someone and say, hey, can I buy you a cup of coffee? I remember many, many years ago when Carolina and I were living in Las Vegas. We were probably in our early 20s. And my older sister, our older sister had gone through this kind of like this seminar, these classes that you did, about personal growth. And I was in one of those classes, and they would have like little challenges for us. And this was it was right before the millennium. So this was 1999. So like the internet was there, but it wasn't nearly what it is. That's right.
So it was going on in my
We're gonna
head too.
party.
Prince.
Right, the same. So anyway, part of the seminar, they asked us to leave the seminar. It was lunchtime, and go have lunch with a stranger.
That's awesome.
Like, just go out on the road, go out on the street, talk to someone. And the challenge was to invite someone to lunch and get their phone number. And this wasn't like a dating thing. It was just, like make a connection with someone. And I remember how many people they said would freeze at that challenge and would literally just like sit in their cars because they were so afraid to go out and have a conversation with a stranger. And I think about like if that challenge were presented now, where we're even more or less engaged because of social media, how much more difficult that type of situation would be for a lot of people today to have the courage, the audacity to go out and talk to a stranger and invite them to have lunch with you.
So a few weeks ago, I was at church, and at the end of church, you all stand up and you kind of hold hands. And it's like, if you want to give yourself to the Lord, like you don't have to be baptized or whatever, just squeeze the person's hand next to you as you're bowing your head. So just the person next to you knows. And I was standing next to a woman, and during services, like we were both very emotional, but she was crying. She was obviously going through something. And I regret, and this, I want to say this is now probably 2 months ago, 3 months ago. I regret not asking her if she wanted to go have lunch. I was too afraid to ask her. And she squeezed my hand at that time. And I should have asked her, do you want to go for coffee? Do you want to go somewhere and talk? Because when my mom died, I remember I was at the Atlanta airport waiting for the train. If you've ever been to the Atlanta airport, they have the underground train system. And I remember just leaning over my suitcase, bawling in tears. And I wish somebody hugged me.
Oh,
I was so sad. And nobody said, are you okay? Or can I hug you? And all I wanted
It's
was a hug.
it's so weird in our culture. I'm curious to know like if it's like that around the world or if it's just America right now, but how it's become so commonplace that we just walk by, so many situations where somebody's not okay, and like why is that okay? It's like to look down and look away and it costs you nothing just to show some kindness. Yeah, I always my kids
mhm.
think I'm totally nuts and get so embarrassed by it, but like when we go get coffee, I always ask people their names, like who's making my coffee, and we'll have a conversation with them, and I try to get to know people in the community, and it's really strange to me how that's not normal anymore. It's like, how do we not know the people that we go to the grocery store, every week, all the places that we frequent regular. And I know we live in a bigger city, but still, it's like we still frequent the same places. And I
And
think
that's why they have
that,
name tags.
Right.
well, and I just, I think people are feeling very isolated, although social media is supposed to be this big connection thing. But and it can be, but people only put their good stuff out there, and so I guess for me, I really appreciate having, our Sunday check-in videos, still, even though, sometimes I don't always get mine done on a Sunday, I send it on a Monday, or sometimes it's, missing. And then I know, if I don't see one from someone, it's like, okay, I'm gonna reach out with a phone call and see if they're doing okay and what's going on with them this week. And
Mhm.
I so appreciate that, having, friends that just like can read those signals and, hey, how's it going? So I love that that's what started this podcast, Paula, the thought of it in your mind, and those connections and the type of friendship that we have, and that we've still continued to do those check-in videos. And actually I've thought about like what you were just saying. I've thought about I should start doing that with more people too, instead of just the, texts on holidays, or, short phone calls
Mhm.
on holidays. Maybe just start doing that with other people too that I love.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would have to say that that's the biggest reason I said yes to doing this podcast is because I have a longing for FaceTime. And you girls probably all remember that, like I would say that all the time, even before like it was a thing on an iPhone. Like I just really appreciate FaceTime. Like I want to like connect with you physically, and I want to be able to like see you and like talk to you and touch you and like hold your hand. And I have always had a really hard time with social media because I don't think that that should like take the place of like physical connection. Just because we're friends on social media doesn't mean that like I don't want to see you live and that I don't want to hear you live. And I know, Shannon, you remember this because you always talk about like at Lent a long time ago, I gave up texting for Lent. And instead of texting somebody, when they would text me, instead of me texting back, I would push send and I would call that person. And it really was just remarkable to go back in time and like connect that way instead of responding in a text message. And, there's people in my life that I have a longing for. There's people in my life that I like to make time for. And I think those, there's two things that you make big decisions on every single day. And it's how you spend your time and how you spend your money. And so when Paula came to me and was like, I think I want to start this podcast. I think I want to mention it to the group. I was like, cool. I'm going to spend more time with my sister because every time she comes to visit, like, even if it's just for like 3 days or like 5 days, like when we say goodbye, I always tear up because that's like a person that I have a longing for. It's like saying goodbye to a mom, you know. Paula's always taken really, really good care of me ever since I was probably born. And so, you know, I'm like, yes, absolutely. And yeah, I know we've been doing our check-in videos and it's nice to see your faces every Sunday. But to get another hour a week with you guys is just, it warms my heart. So, you know, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't join this to like reach other women. I joined this to like connect with you guys because I love you. And I mean, and you guys know it was really hard for me to agree to this because I'm not on any social media. Like I've always been really against like Facebook because I really do believe that the first thing that you do when you create a social media account is build a wall. You put your best pictures out there. You put your best videos. You know, create a version of yourself that may not be real. And so that's another reason that I think this podcast is beautiful and it's important because by the time you get to our age, we should be pretty freaking genuine and not have to do that, right? And that is what I want to put out there. Like, let's be real. We're 40 something, we're midlife. Let's just be real and talk about real topics and share real things.
Boobies.
Yeah.
Let the boobs pop out.
Let them pop out. Let them go.
You are wearing
I
pants,
always-
right?
Yes, but I wasn't the last time we recorded. I wasn't. I was wearing boy shorts, underwear. Yeah.
Nobody
Minu
knew.
knows. Sorry, Minu. You were saying?
No,
And now everyone
I was
knows.
just saying.
Everybody
that, you
knows.
know, yeah, for sure. That's Shannon, big boss lady. So I was just saying that, you know, I truly believe that great conversation deserve a home. And podcast is nothing but a home where that magic spells, you know. We all are in our own element. Sometimes we actually forget that we are recording. We are just having those conversations and, you know, we are just thinking loud. We are reflecting. We are learning a new skill. We are evolving together and we just don't know who's listening to us and get some idea or feel good or feel better. So it's just an extension of a home for people who don't have a true tribe.
You know what? And even for those who do, like, I would love it if what we're doing with our Sunday check-ins, you know, like would inspire another group of friends to start doing that for each other. You know, their Monday, what would be a good Monday munchies or Tuesday taco. Well, Tuesday tacos.
Tuesday taco.
Monday
Wednesday-
mariachis.
Doesn't sound right.
Monday mariachis. Your way.
Did you say
Monday
Tuesday
Madness.
Wednesday-
tacos doesn't sound right.
Monday madness sound right?
You can't have Sunday Sundays. Yeah, Monday madness. Your
Right.
Thursday,
Thirsty Thursday.
your Thirsty Thursday. There you go. Anyway, so I think it'd be cool if we inspired other people to be like, hey, I want to check in with my group more often. Because we do, we get busy. You know, everybody has
Yeah.
busy lives with work, with families, with kids, with parents, with whatever. And we, you know, if we don't make a concerted effort to reach out to the people that we care about, you know, friendships die, friendships fade away if you don't take care of them. So
Yeah, you have to nurture them. You have to communicate. You know, you have to reach out and keep those lines of communication open.
yeah.
You know, talking about
100%.
strangers, I saw a sweater, a hoodie, a shirt. It comes in however you want. And it says, tap my shoulder if you need a prayer. And I saw people and they're like, I bought this, but no one's tapped my shoulder yet. And I thought about ordering that shirt because I'm not big on outwardly praying with people, you know. I thought, how would that open me up to prayer with a stranger? Like I prayed to myself. I prayed with close people close to me, but I could not imagine a stranger just tapping on my shoulder saying, I really need a prayer.
Mm.
That would challenge me pretty big time. I don't know if I'm an introvert or an extrovert. Haven't been able to figure that out. I like to keep, I don't know. Sometimes I don't really like to be too much around people, and other times I'm very excited to be around people and get to know new people. That would be really challenging for me. So I thought about getting the shirt just to challenge myself to see what would happen.
Do
I'll
it.
have to let you ladies
Wow.
know.
Do it. Do it.
I love that. You totally do it.
Be careful. I might get one for all of you.
I'm
I
down.
would wear that happily. That's awesome. It's funny that you say you don't know
Well,
if you're an introvert or extrovert. I'm both too. I can totally be extroverted and love like my friend time, my family time, people time. And then when I'm done, and like I need to go off and retreat and
Mhm.
like just have my alone time. So I think you can be both. You don't have to be one or the other.
well, I think
Yeah.
that whole idea of being an introvert or an extrovert, if I understand it correctly, it's just more about how you recharge your own battery.
Yeah.
Like, do you recharge by, being around people and enjoying company and laughter and friends and noise? Or are you more of like, okay, when I need to recharge, I need to go be somewhere by myself. I need to go take a long walk, or I need to, sit on my living room couch with a good book.
That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I'm both depending on the time. Yeah.
I know that when I need to recharge, I need to be alone. I need to go inward
Yeah.
to be able to pour out to other people.
Yeah.
But so thinking about the social media conversation that we were having, and I think there's been this whole push, about having all these friends and the likes and the whatnots. But then I was thinking, like when we were traveling, even if you have 1,000 friends on social media or even more, like how many of those will actually come and feed your cat? How many of those friends will come and pick up your mail or pick you up at the airport?
How reliable are they? Yeah.
How well do
Because
they
that's
really
the
know
mark of a
you?
true friend. Right. Well, because I think, again, that's the mark of a true friend, the ones that are going to show
Mhm.
up for you to feed your dog and pick you up at the airport, or, check in on your mom if you have to be away for a few days. And that's the mark of true friendship.
Mhm.
Are we all
With me
sleeping
right
here?
now.
Or the friends that will sleep in the same bed with you because you don't want to be alone. Yes.
Mhm.
You don't want to be
I'm
alone.
afraid
the
of the
dark.
dark.
That was hilarious.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, safety. People that make you feel safe, people that you can count on, and you know that your loved ones will be safe with.
Yeah, that's important. Yep.
It's been super fun just for me. I think our I
What
think
were you
for
saying,
me,
Erin?
I was just saying I love, that we have been able to connect more often than we had been previously, prior to starting the podcast. And I love how much deeper my friendship has grown with each one of you. I've gotten to know, things about you that I didn't maybe know before. I've known, most of you for a really long time, like really long time. So, that has been really fun, and I love having just a dedicated thing where we all connect versus, just when we're in town or, once a year for a trip. It's been really cool to just have a regular connection, which reminds me of the types of friendships we had when we were young kids. You see your friends every day at school. And we don't see each other quite every day, but we definitely see each other a lot more frequently than we did, say, maybe in, our 30s or early 40s. So I love that.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah,
We're so
absolutely.
special.
We are special. All right. Well, again, we just wanted to come together briefly today and just remind ourselves and remind all of you why we started this podcast, why we started the Sunday Sunday podcast. I just want to leave you with that takeaway that if you have a group of friends, reach out. Maybe you want to start doing check-in videos with your close-knit group of girlfriends or guy friends or whatever, and just check in on each other, support each other, listen to each other, send each other encouragement, let them know that you love your friends. And I would challenge to not even say, hey, love ya, because I think to look at somebody's eyes and say, I love you in that way, not just love you, buddy, but I love you. That's also really hard for people.
It
So I
is.
would put that out there as a challenge as well. Like if you have your circle of friends that you love and trust and care about, look them in the eyes and tell them, I love you, because that's what we do for each other here too. We love each other. Touche. All right, friends.
God bless you
Anybody
guys.
have any? No. Stop, Shannon.
We're not going to stand
Don't
up.
make the heart. No.
You can see my skin here.
That's all we need to see. The rest is for imagination. All right. Well, we certainly appreciate you all tuning in to the Sunday Sunday podcast. We appreciate you listening and hanging out with us every Sunday. And we hope you have an amazing Sunday and an amazing rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy Sunday.
And happy Sunday, Sunday.